bedroom, and the bedroom being a more intimate space, I've put more intimate stories in this setting. So whereas the first room was very much about communities, this room is very much about personal stories of people and families, and I've done quite a lot of work in orphanages as well, and that's also been highlighted in this room. One of the stories which I find closest to my heart is that of a lady called Jean Malenga, who works on the outskirts of Lusaka in Zambia. She is HIV positive and cured of tuberculosis, and she started up what she calls a transit home to look after children and make sure that they don't go through what she went through as a child. This is very much out of her own initiative, and through her goals, she's managed to find funding to get sponsorship for the kids, to get them into school, and she's feeding them, making sure that they remain on their treatment. All of the kids either have TB and or HIV or have been affected by it, by their parents dying of the disease, and many also have come from environments where they were abused, and she's managed to remove them from these environments. And after starting the work, and I think it was late 2004, early 2005, I visited her in over Christmas time in December 2005, and she had moved from having 6 children that were literally on death's bed to caring for 17 children which at that point had a clean bill of health. If they had TB, they were either on treatment or completed treatment, and the children who had HIV were all on ARVs and were doing very, very well, attending school and away from the abused environments which many of them came from. Another quite an exciting story is that of Nkosi Bakatinga Tinga, who lives in Khayelitsha, which is on the outskirts of Cape Town in South Africa. He's had tuberculosis 4 times, and he's also a double amputee. And we started working with him. When was it? It would have been early 2006, and through the work that we've been doing with him, and awareness being raised through our work, we've managed to find funding to help him insulate his home, and really open up bank accounts, start and give him an opportunity to really sort of start his life over. And it's quite exciting because this is his original wheelchair right here, which he donated to us after a donation of a new wheelchair came through. And I think it's a good representation of the level of poverty which you find in these areas. I mean, if you have a look at this chair, it's made of a plastic garden chair which is wired onto a metal frame of a wheelchair. The tires and tubes disintegrated ages ago, and this man would push himself about 1 to 1.5 kilometers to the clinic every single day on this chair, over railway lines, through dusty, sandy streets, and now things are slowly starting to look up. In this room, you start looking at the images from the Dialogues exhibition. The goal of Dialogues was to present the patient's perspective of what it is to live with TB and HIV. So you'll notice the work is very confrontational. All of the patients are looking at the camera. Some of them are standing up and talking about these things openly for the very first time, which is very exciting when you start looking at the processes which you can gain from photography. One of the primary being the interaction you can generate with someone, and through that what can be attained. And for example, this is a great way of educating people about what was happening to them, and also breaking down stigma and helping them to come to terms with what with their condition. So the work consists of a portrait of each patient, which is accompanied by a handwritten story in their mother tongue, whereby they have the opportunity to explain, what it is to be living with TB and or HIV. It was actually primarily a tuberculosis study, but almost half of the patients also have HIV as well. So they can do that. They can express what they feel should be done about the condition. They speak about their understanding of it, what they feel causes TB and HIV. The stigma attached, what they feel should be done to improve these conditions, likewise. And I'm currently actually working on this is an ongoing program which I've started, whereby I'm going to be documenting these people over a period of 5 years to see what happens if someone is cured of TB, or if you receive HIV treatment, how does life change after that. I'm very excited to see what comes out of that.
How can they contact you?
They can contact me up. The two ways. I've got a website, www.dspgallery.com. It stands for Damien Schumann Photography Gallery. Otherwise, my email address is damien@dspgallery.com. Damien, D-A-M-I-E-N.